I want to talk about the road to 100,000 freaking dollars per Bitcoin. I'm going to make this one brief, and I actually mean it. Let's see what happens. This is something I was working on. I had some lines drawn on a chart in one of my market updates. I think it's the end of October, so a couple weeks ago, and I said I was working on the math on this and kind of trying to figure out really where we're going to go, and I wanted to kind of show you. So I had a line drawn across the top of the 2021 tops, the double top here. And then I had really this, what looked like a really random line kind of going through here. And I thought I'd take some time and kind of show you where I was going with this line and how I actually got it where I wanted it. So pretty much I kind of was looking for some confluence, some similarities, some support and resistance lines that might be of interest. And again, we're just looking at it through the lens of how can this add to the probabilities that the prices go up or they go down. So obviously we had a big sell-off here. The white lines are simply showing you, kind of designating this is support, 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 support. Kind of comes up. Now it's resistance, and it comes down. Now it's resistance. Obviously it does its thing, and then comes back up to what level? This level right here now it is resistance. We're going to keep going, keeps coming, it's resistance, it's resistance, it's resistance, and now finally it flips as support. So now it's support. So once you're under, you stay under. Once you're above, you could stay above, much like back here we were above, and then now we're under for a while. Once we went above, great. Now all of a sudden we're going up. Where did we come back down to? Absolutely crazy. The same line. Here is literally the channel that we've been in most of the year, but we went up, we came down. Here's support. Comes down, it flips as resistance. Here's the resistance, so it's going to come back down. It's going to come back up. You could call this support, so I guess we could put another guy on this if we really wanted to. I don't love it, but you get the point. Smaller time frames, right? You are going to show this a little bit more clear. This is a daily chart. And then this is what I find absolutely shenanigans is literally yesterday I was looking at this and I was like, there's no freaking way this came up. Literally found resistance here and then took off from there. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, the weird nature of this whole thing. So what is the deal with these two lines? Well, definitely number one, we know is the top. So a lot of times that points to maybe the next top. But this is a parabolic asset class. And so kind of because of that, sometimes it literally ignores this. It just acts as support and resistance, much like this line has. But where these converge happen to be, what are the freaking odds? $97,000, 100,000 obviously just right above it, right? So what's really bizarre about this, if you zoom out, is like I said, I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback here. We're at 89,000. I really feel like we're going to tag 90,000. Like if you look at this is just so stupid how high we got. We literally got, look right here on this high right here. We literally got to 90,993. So like, I think everybody's like, come on, tag 90,000. Let's just do this right. You know what I mean? Let's really get the full 90 so we can all post about it. And then we could talk about if we're going to go to 100 or if we're going to have a little bit of a retracement. With retracements are very common to be, 25, 30% type sell-offs. Now I'm getting into things that I didn't necessarily want to talk about. There's definitely 23% right there. Here is 25%. So obviously if we went to $100,000, right? We went all the way up here and we had a retracement to 25%, where would that take us? Right back down here, pretty close to our yellow line, right? And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about is this is so unstable. It's just dumb. But that's okay. The cool part about this video or the point I wanted to make about this video is that the road to 100,000, when do we hit 100,000? Well, interestingly enough, we might actually hit it before the year's over. So I'm looking at the date on the bottom, like right here-ish. It really wouldn't be kind of too crazy to do that, to come spike up here, create a deviation, and then sell off. But for sure, what this is telling us is that by April of next year, between April 2nd and April 20th, maybe, yeah, April 20th, we should be at $100,000 according to the logarithmic patterns. But with that being said, I don't think this market is even going to remotely wait for April of 2025. I think it's ready to rock and roll. I think a lot of the hype is going to push it up and then sell it off and push it up and sell it off. And so we could have some really big swings and then come back down. What's really exciting to me is that if we're getting close to, $90,000, $100,000 before this year is over, historically, when you go back and you look at these charts, really the beginning of the bull run year, which is 2025, is when the climbing starts happening. So we are either in for an insane Bitcoin market where this is going to go up like bananas, right? 200, 300, 400,000, who knows? Or what's going to happen is this is kind of going to slowly consolidate and constrict, really kind of letting that supply kind of be transferred around and eaten up. And all the money's going to go into the alts. And you can see this. We hit 5 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But we hit dominance. We look at our dominance chart. Remember, we talked about Bitcoin season versus altcoin season. I guess I erased my little things. I had up and down arrows. But literally, we are now kind of topping out in this little 60%, 60.5% of all of the money in crypto is now in Bitcoin alone. And so 61, 62 are kind of the high areas. If you go back and look, you could see some support and resistance levels back here. But what's interesting is it ran up and then it had a hard sell off, and you saw alts pump like crazy during that time period. So now we're going to see if Bitcoin, again, everybody's rallying behind Bitcoin right now. Maybe we hit 100 grand, maybe we hit 62% of the Bitcoin market cap, and then it sells off and lets the alts have their day. But just very, very exciting stuff. And I wanted to share a little bit more about this chart that I've been kind of working on. I'm sure there's some levels in there too that I might have even missed. But again, I just look at it as an interesting, confirmation of like, all right, this is kind of going the right direction. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times. You hit the same line 14 times. I mean, something about this line is interesting, and look at where it points. It literally points straight to 100 grand in April. So just kind of exciting, just kind of a fun little tidbit fact to see this top crossing and this coming up and meeting. Anytime you have two lines converging, that's typically a good sign of a strong level of that something's going to happen, either support, resistance, or a reversal area. So anyway, thought it'd be fun. That's the road to 100,000 Bitcoin. We're on our way.